in your tests, did you manage to do a hack at like that kind of distance or like a mile or two? Or, I'm just trying to get an idea of like how far away you managed to do stuff.
So, all right. So the way that we did this was in 2 phases. We brought a parabolic grid up to basically the Hollywood side in Los Angeles. First, we just scanned for networks and were able to receive networks from downtown Los Angeles from the Hollywood side. So that's a good like 5 miles away. And we were able to verify the location by feeding the information autonomously into wiggle.net and finding the geolocation of the networks we were seeing. So that was cool because we could actually see the spread of different networks we were observing with the antenna and see exactly where they were located in space. So we could see how directional the antenna was, for example. If I was like scanning for someone and I wanted to know what area of the city they were in, and I knew their phone's SSID and they were connected, to a Wi-Fi network, I could scan around the city and get a picture of like where someone was. So for location, that's pretty cool that you can do that at like 5 miles. For actual interaction, being able to, for example, like de-authenticate someone and then get a handshake or something like that, we were seeing out to a little over a mile in order to have like a more interactive session. And that was, of course, clear line of sight and like a relatively powerful transmitter, like at the other end, like a nice router. But I mean, again, like the parabolic grid is very, very suspicious. I think we were sitting in a graveyard with this huge parabolic grid on like a tripod. And we were getting like all this excellent distance because we only had a couple targets we were allowed to connect to or allowed to hack. So we had to try to find a line of sight like to either like my apartment or like a friend's apartment or like a library that we were allowed to try to connect to. So it was pretty crazy trying to actually test that. But yeah, it was a good experiment and it totally sold me on the tube view.
That's like, I would say high end.
Yes.